Hey, everybody, it's great to have you join me again today. And today I'm going to talk some more about being unshakable. Last Sunday, just a couple days ago, we were talking about being part of an unshakable kingdom. And yesterday, I talked about how the closer you get to Jesus, the more unshakable you'll become because he's unshakable. But, you might ask, well, how do you get closer to Jesus? Well, one of the ways is by understanding him. It's kind of like when you're with a friend and you have this intimate conversation and you share some personal stuff and the person, you might say to your friend, after the conversation, gosh, I feel so much closer to you right now because, I understand you more. That's the way it is with God. So one of the things I want us to understand about him is his sovereignty. This is the first point we hit on Sunday. You can catch that sermon by going to our website. It's right down below. But God's sovereignty, I mean, he is in control no matter what. There's a great passage that we covered about King Nebuchadnezzar. He was the king of the most powerful empire in the world at the time, the Babylonian Empire. He had a dream of a huge statue. It had a gold head and a silver chest and bronze waist and legs, and then iron and clay feet. And this rock that was cut out without hands smashed the feet. The whole statue collapsed, and the wind blew it away. Then that rock became a huge mountain that covered the whole earth. You're like, what does that mean? Well, 2,300 years later, we look back at world history and know exactly what that means. It was so profound. The gold head was the Babylonian Empire. And the silver chest was the Medo-Persian Empire that overthrew the Babylonian Empire. And then the bronze waist and legs was the Greek Empire that overthrew the Persian Empire. And then the clay feet and was the Roman Empire that overthrew the Grecian Empire. And then what was that rock that struck the feet and caused all four of these empires to collapse and blow away? That was Jesus. When Jesus was born during the Roman Empire and he rose from the dead, his kingdom began to expand at that point, and now it covers the whole earth. And here's the thing. The Babylonian Empire, the Persian Empire, the Mede Empire, the Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, they're all gone. But Jesus' kingdom is eternal. His is the only kingdom that's eternal. So it doesn't matter how much the world shakes. It doesn't matter ultimately what happens next week in the election or the chaos of some people are, creating in our world right now, because all kingdoms are temporary except for Jesus's. His is eternal, and you're part of that kingdom. Look, this scripture in Romans 8:28 is so great. It says, God causes all things to work together for your good, for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. Now, first of all, that scripture doesn't say God causes all evil things, sinful things, pandemics. God doesn't create those things, but he uses them for good. But that promise isn't to everybody. It's to those who love him and are called according to his purpose. Do you love Jesus? And are you called according to his purpose, which is to become more and more like Jesus? If you are, then no matter how chaotic the world becomes, you do not have to spin out of control like the world is, because you're of a completely separate kingdom. It's an eternal kingdom led by the eternal king who is unshakable. So don't worry about your future, because even though in your mind it's unpredictable, your future's in God's hands, and God knows exactly what he's doing. So don't fret about your future, because God is in control. All right, God bless. I'll see you tomorrow.